Hi guys, let me show you how to create this kind of emission grid where we can see the vertices. First thing, just delete the default cube and the lamp, we don't need them. Next, we need to add the grid with 64 by 64 for the subdivisions. Scale it a little bit. We are going to give some shape to the grid by selecting one vertices and move it with the proportional editing tool. Alright, create a new material. Change the name if you need. Replace the principal BSDF by an emission shader. Now I don't want the ward to emit any light, so I turn off the strength. Then I will add an input node for the wireframe. I could have used the wireframe modifier, but I want them. I want all the faces to be triangles instead of quads. So I think it's the best way to do it. And also it's not going to add any more geometry to the mesh. So right now, if I want to have some transparency, I need to combine the emission shader with a transparent shader. Don't forget to set the option, the blend mode to alpha blend in the option of the material. This red cube was just to be sure that the transparency is working. Now we can change the color of the emission shader. But I will leave the strength to 1 because I really want to have the exact same color in the render. By the way, I am using Eevee as a render engine, so we can see it in the real time. Right now I'm just adding a simple UV sphere with the shading mode set to smooth. I'm also going to replace this principal BSDF by the emission shader, and I just copy and paste the emission node to the other material, so I don't have to make any change. Move the sphere to a new collection so you don't see it in the final render. Now let's create a new particle systems. You need to set the end frame to 1 because we want all the sphere at the same time on the first keyframe. Change emit from to verts and uncheck random order. Also, we will set the render as object and select the sphere. Then we can turn it off for the collection, so we don't see it in the final render. We can play also with the scale of the sphere to meet our needs. You can always toggle to frame 2 and frame 1 so the simulation is showing correctly. We set the number of verts to fit the mesh. I am turn it off the gravity for the simulations. You can play with camera and find the angle that seems to be the best for you. Turn on depth of field to add some blur to the scene without having to do it in compositor because I like the way that some verts are very sharp and other very blurry. I think it adds a lot of depth to the scene. You can do that by playing with the f-stop and also with the focus distance. Still not exactly what I'm looking for, so I will play with the size of the wireframe and the size of the spheres to make it look better. And if you need to change camera, you can do it as many times as you want. Okay, let's play with the color and a couple of settings for the bloom effect. Okay, I think we are done. It's pretty much what I want for the final result. I hope it's going to help you with your next projects, and if you think it's useful, feel free to like the videos and subscribe to my channel.